Another production, the man behind the mic. If you're new here, like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you get all the latest content that we're coming out with. If you're back again, thank you, thank you, thank you. I just wanted to touch bases because Steven Crowder just went into a barbershop and had a conversation with some black guys. And here's one little piece, and I'll give my expose on it afterwards.
Bad decisions, personal accountability, we'd all be against reparations, and we'd all be against the criminal justice reform.
I'm definitely for reparations.
I'm for reparations. So see, that to me, you said excuse. Yeah. That sounds like an excuse to me.
You ain't paid me back. You ain't paid me for what you owe me.
What did I take from you?
You can't start another bill until you pay this old bill.
What did I take from you?
You didn't take with your ancestors.
But you just...
Now, this is something that black people love to repeat. This narrative that white people took something from them in slavery. But let us really, dig in and understand where black people came from. You have blacks selling blacks. You didn't have just white people just going over there snatching up black people in Africa or wherever they got a lot of these black people, predominantly Africa. You didn't have whites just going over there snatching up black people. No, you had other tribes. I mean, go look in the Bible. It was dog eat dog. That was that was the layout of the land. That was the times. It was dog eat dog. So one tribe will always try to subject domination over another tribe. That happens in all cultures. All of them. Since the beginning of time. If you were too weak to defend your land or your territory, unfortunately, in our fallen state, we conquer things instead of living peaceably next to our neighbors. So yes, you had black people conquering other black tribes, taking them captive, keeping the women, and selling the men. And sometimes the women. So this narrative that white people took something for black people, and then when you look at the people who the black people who remain in Africa all these years later, past slavery into our modern age, would black people of America genuinely say they'll trade places with the black people of Africa? I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it. That's just my opinion. I don't want to trade places with them. Not me, myself, personally. I've seen the conditions. I, myself, personally wouldn't want to trade places with today as an American black man. I would not want to trade places with a black African. No way, no how. But this is to the narrative that white people have took something from it. But we're going to go ahead and finish the video because we ain't got about 28 seconds left. And then I'm going to close.
Said you.
When I say you, I meant it as a euphemism.
But can you understand why white people hear it and get pissed off?
Yeah.
Because I can take shit.
But they're not mad about the advantages that was built into their lives.
So you want young people to pay?
And notice he says white people are not mad about the advantages that are built into their lives. Well, black people are not mad about the advantages built into their lives neither, because we have way more advantages than those people who were left in Africa. People who share our reflection that live in Africa, they have nowhere near the advantages that we have. Yes, we went through some hardship, but we are in way better predicament now than they are or ever were. So what are we really talking about? And then I'm gonna close it down with the hammer.
Sounds like an excuse.
Even when I'm paying us back, Steve, don't know what my thoughts are on this here. Give us an opportunity to exercise our ability and our autonomy. Let me give you a perfect example.
Now, this last guy is what I'm going to really go off on. Because he says, give us an opportunity to exercise our ability and our autonomy. What do you think was happening before the Civil Rights Movement? Why do you think Representative Byron Donalds and some of these other black historians, such as Vince Everett Ellison, right? Why do you think they talk about how destructive the civil rights movement was, forcing segregation, and then for you to have black people come all these years later, right, after you have marched, fought, bled, died, got bit up by dogs, jailed, political leaders or activists killed, and all of this right here, for y'all to want to say now, oh, give us money. You wasn't asking for money prior to Martin Luther King, and we were thriving well. Why? Because we depended on God. We depended on God. But see, this is the downfallingness of the black community, because now we have been ushered from under God's wings under the government's wings, specifically the Democrat Party. Right? I find that absolutely absurd that we now have, that this man is saying, oh, let us exercise our ability and autonomy. You were, after they freed you from slavery. You were. We were exercising our ability and our autonomy. But we didn't want autonomy. We had leaders come along that said, we don't want autonomy. We want to fall up under y'all code, and we want to be involved in y'all stuff. And then, I mean, how does this look? America is a household, right? So just imagine black people were on the outside of the house knocking to get in, right? And white people kept saying no, no, no. Specifically white Democrats kept saying no, 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 right? So somebody in the house opens the door and says, okay, come on in. Live and do as you please. But see, what black people have done, instead of them coming in and learning the morals of the house, the ethics of the house, the system of the house, black people have now forgotten that they were getting the dog let out on in sprayed outside the door all while they was knocking at the door. That now once they've gotten in the house, now they want to start rearranging furniture, putting artwork on the wall, changing the locks, changing the cable plan, right? Bringing all type of people in the house. It's not even your house, right? But you were brought into the fold. Now, I know I'm going to piss a lot of people off by saying that, especially my black counterparts, but I don't care. That's just the reality of the situation. What does it look like you banging on somebody's door, begging to come in their house, and then when they finally do let you in their house, you try to take over? That's what black people are doing. Tell me what you think about the conversation, Man Behind the Mic.